Welcome back to another video, everyone. So today I think I'm starting a new series, but I'm not sure whether or not I'll actually carry it on. It's a series where I'll be ranking the bosses in every single Crash game from worst to best, or least favorite to favorite. The reason I'm not sure about it is because it's quite similar to my review series I'm doing, since I talk about the bosses in those videos, but I don't rank them in those videos though. I also don't want to come across as one of those shitty ranking channels. So let me know down below what you think about it after this video and whether or not you'd be interested in seeing more. So yeah, we're going to start off with the Wrath of Cortex because I recently reviewed it, they're all still fresh in my mind, and I have all of the footage for it. To be honest, even though I'm not that big of a fan of the game, I have to admit I did like the boss battles in it. Let's not waste any more time and get into the list. Number 5, Crunch and Lolo, boss number 4. This one places last because I can't help but compare it to the engine fight in Warped because it's the exact same concept. You have to dodge all of the attacks while shooting at the part of his body where he's attacking from. It's a copy and paste of the engine boss, and unfortunately it's just not as good or creative as some of the other boss fights in this game. It's the only boss fight in the game that isn't split into separate phases, and it's just one giant health bar that you have to knock down. I don't think it's bad, just my least favorite. Number 4, Crunch and Wawa. I think it's Wawa. Is it Wawa? I like this one. It reminds me of a classic boss battle. Waves of attacks coming at you and you have to jump over them, duck underneath them, and make sure that you don't fall off the platforms. You can't stay on them for too long either because they'll sink, so you have to keep it moving. It's fun, and it took me quite a few attempts to beat it, which is how boss fights should be. The main issue I had was timing. I never picked the right time to go ahead and start jumping over the platforms. And then sometimes, even when I did jump over it, it just hit me anyway. Definitely one of the harder bosses in the game. In fact, I'd say this is the second hardest boss. Number 3, Crunch and Rocko, boss number 1. I thought the Atmosphere levels in Wrath of Cortex were some of the best, and I liked being able to use it in a boss fight. You have to roll around the arena with Crunch and turn all of the boulders blue by smashing into them. The number of boulders that you need to smash increases with each phase, and it can be quite tricky to hit them because everything moves so fast, and by the time you hit some of them, Crunch has already turned them back to orange. And of course, if he hits you, it knocks off a bunch of your health as well. It's just a weird, unique boss fight. The only thing I will say about them is this. Why does Crunch turn them orange, but Crash turns them blue? Number 2, we have Crunch and Pyro, boss 3. This is a banging boss fight, lads. The music slaps too. So in this one you have to run away from Crunch as he's throwing boulders at you. You run to the mech suit and then you chase him and try to spray him with water. On the second wave you have to run even further to get to the mech suit, and he throws even more boulders than he did before. This time while you're chasing him he'll drop mines basically, so you can't stay too close behind him or you'll run straight into them. But the third phase of the fight is where it gets funky. The distance to the mech suit increases again and his boulders split into 2 when they hit the ground. And again he's throwing them more quickly now, so there's more coming at you. On the way back he doesn't just drop mines in this wave, he drops boulders that roll back towards you, and yeah, it was a fun boss fight. I really enjoyed it. And at number 1 we have the final boss fight in the game, Crunch with the power of all of the elemental masks. And having the final boss of the game at number 1 is a good thing because it means you're ending the game on a positive. So Crunch will switch between attacks in this one. He starts off with a meteor shower. You have to evade all of them, and if you do that then you can shoot him with the Wumpa gun, which I believe you unlock after beating the 4th boss. In the second wave he'll drop ice blocks which don't kill you, they just freeze you for a few seconds. But he adds other attacks on top of this, so if you can't move out of the way, then you're f***ed. In the third wave he'll set the floor on fire, make it rain meteors and drop the ice blocks, and then set the floor on fire again. Keep in mind that you have to do all of this without being hit once, or you have to redo the whole thing. And in the 4th and final wave you have to dodge lasers and all of that other crap too. It's definitely the hardest boss battle in the game just because of how long it is. There's so much time to mess up. All it takes is one laser, that's it. It can be hard to track everything that's going on too because it all happens continuously one after another. But it was fun and it was a nice way to end the game. So yeah, that is my list for the Wrath of Cortex. Let me know down below what you thought about Wrath of Cortex's boss battles and how you'd rank them. I know everyone says that, but I actually read and reply to my comments. It's always interesting to see what people think about Crash games because it's always so mixed. And yeah, if you're wondering, I did see those recent rumors about Wrath of Cortex being remade. The reason I've not made a video about it is just simply because there's really not that much that came out. Maybe if some more leaks or some more information came came out, then I'd make a video about it. But I don't know. As of right now, I don't believe them. I just don't. I can't see them remaking Wrath of Cortex or remastering it or whatever it was that the leak said. The original trilogy, of course, makes sense. They were the first three. They put Crash on the map. They changed the game. They're loved by everyone. They're loved by the fans. But Wrath of Cortex, most people hate that game. Of course, there are people that like it. You know, if you like the game, that's fine. But the game has a lot of negativity around it. I just can't see them remaking this. Plus, the majority of people really want a brand new Crash game now. You know, we got the original trilogy, we got Team Racing, you know, plus half of Nitro Kart. The classics have been remade and updated, and people want the story to continue. We haven't had a Crash game in 12 years. So if they come out and say, hey lads, Wrath of Cortex remastered, I don't think that's going to go down very well with the majority of Crash fans. But yeah, that is my thoughts about the leaks. I don't think it's actually going to happen, and that's why I've not made a video about it just yet. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, this is a new series that I'll be doing. I'll be doing it for Twinsanity. My Twinsanity review is actually coming out later this week. So now that I have all those in my mind and I have all the footage, I could make one of these videos about that game. Of course, I'll be doing the original trilogy. I just haven't got to that in my review series yet. I'd appreciate your feedback on this new possible series and whether or not I should continue it. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Definitely subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you all in my next video.